Hey everybody, my name is Alex Merced from alexmerced.com, and I want to talk real briefly about licensing and just kind of talk about the differences between something like a driver's license versus something like a license to braid hair. Now, when you get a driver's license, a driver's license doesn't give you permission to drive. You can drive without a driver's license. You just can't drive on public roads. So really what the driver's license is government giving you permission to drive on government property. Okay, so if you were to imagine privately owned roads, you can easily see that something like that would exist because private road owners would want, to make sure that the roads that they make are safe because people won't drive on them if they aren't. So you would imagine that many different road operators would probably form some sort of third-party association to certify drivers, and only drivers who are certified by this association would then be allowed to be driven on the road. So the point is, a driver's license is kind of what probably would naturally happen. Okay? And yeah, and then you would even probably have a requirement to have car insurance to drive on those roads. So that's not necessarily beyond the pale. Vice versa, when you take a look at something like a license to braid hair, it's not permission to use government property, it's just permission to do something for you to freely transact with another individual. Okay, and that's a real crossing the line, because you're basically saying that this person can't provide a service that another person's willing to pay them for without government permission. Okay, so now you're interfering. It's not an issue of government giving permission to use government property, but government having to give you permission to enter a voluntary exchange with another individual. So a lot of times people try to lump all sort of these licensing issues in one category. But again, there's a difference between driver's license. You can be a libertarian and be like, okay, driver's licenses aren't the end of the world. And then on the other hand, be very critical of things of like requiring occupational licensing, because these are sort of two different concepts. Again, the difference between use of government property and the difference between regulating and withholding permission for two individuals into a voluntary arrangement. And notice I use the word government property because people confuse the word, find the word public too confusing. Because then they'll confuse the idea of public funds with public, public roads, which is, no, there's no such thing as public property. At the end of the day, public property is really government property. Government has the ability to control it. They own it. They have the right to sell it. It's not you as an individual. You may be able to indirectly control who's in government, but it's still not your property. And when you think about it that way, it makes it much more clear to see sort of these boundaries, in my opinion. So my name is Alex Merced from alexmerced.com. I got plenty of videos talking about all sorts of great things over there at alexmerced.com, so check it out. Thank you very much, and have a great day.